Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how I make edible lace for my cakes. Like, see this pretty cake and see all the pretty lace on top of it. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to do that today with wafer paper, what works and what doesn't work, and what you should buy. Okay, so today we're going to be using wafer paper, and we're going to be using these cutters. Yeah, I buy these cutters from bookshops. You can get them from bookshops, or I'm going to put the link for you to buy them in the, see how pretty these laces are, in the description box below for you to buy these cutters, the ones you should buy and the ones you shouldn't buy, and then how to recognize the ones to buy, and then how to buy edible wafer paper that you can buy online. If you want to buy online, the link is going to be in the description box, or you can buy in your local, like, you know, your local cake store. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, so the first one, I'm going to show you the difference between these two small ones. First, the big one is going to make you a lace, no doubt. So if you want to be sure you're going to get the one for lace, buy the one that has like a spread out base. For example, this one will make you cut out, like if you're trying to make flowers. I'm going to show you now. Yeah, if you're trying to make flowers and, like, you know, those pretty flowers you can make out of this thing, but this one will make you a lace. And I want you to notice the base. If you see one with a base like that, it is for laces. But if you see one without a base, of course you can remove the base, but if you come to the base, it's because it's for laces and you can use it for the edge of papers. It's primarily for the edge of papers. But if you remove the base, then you can use it for the whole, like, sheet of paper, for the whole, like, you know, side of the paper and everything. And then you're going to punch out, and then you're going to remove the excess, and it's going to give you this pretty lace. Okay, so let me make another one and show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, and it makes a lot of mess, of course. So look at this big one. This one is primarily for laces. So if you don't want to be confused, just buy the big one that has like a big base. Those ones are primarily for laces. And then there is like imprint. There are like guidelines on top of it that can show you where to put your wafer paper, the position of your wafer paper, so you get perfect laces that won't be cutting into themselves. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out like 3 strips of wafer paper and show you guys what I'm talking about and what I mean. Okay, so what you want to do right now is I'm going to take a scissors and cut out 3 strips of wafer paper. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to store this wafer paper lace in case you're not going to be using it immediately, so it doesn't spoil, or so it doesn't become like too rigid and like too stiff to move, because that's what happens if you don't store it properly. Okay, so what you want to do is cut out strips and see what this one cuts out. It doesn't really look like lace to me, so for me this is not really lace, but maybe you can make it into a kind of lace if you want. I feel like they're too big and they're not intricate enough. Yeah, so it's not really lace for me. Okay, so see this one, I'm going to show you how to use it for edge of paper. So just put the edge inside like that. Yeah, that edge of paper, and then it's going to cut that tiny bit for you. But that's not what we want, not what we want today. Today we want to make like a strip of lace. Yeah, and for me, I like to make it on both sides. All you have to do is place the lace. These small ones do not have imprints for you to place the wafer paper, so you have to be careful, so you won't be cutting lace on top of lace and then to give you this really big mess. So you have to be very careful and like guide it with your hands while you like punch out the lace and everything. And for me, I like to do 2 sides of the paper and then take out the excess with my fingers and see how pretty that lace is. I think that's my favorite of the laces. Okay, so look at this one. This is a big one, and it has like an outline for you to follow on top of the thing. It has an outline for you, so you won't be punching like another one on top of the other one, so it won't look it will look rough and like messy, and like it won't be lacy and stuff. So you have to follow the imprint for you to get perfect laces. And see how nice it is, see how pretty. And I like to use it on my cakes. Usually when I have like a girly cake or something, I like to fold both sides so I can have both sides showing on top of the cake. Okay, so now that we are done with that, I'm trying to do like a mix of this big one and the small one. So let's see how it turns out, because I don't really like this big one. I feel like it's more for cutouts than for laces. Yeah, so let me show you what it looks like. See, if you're trying to make a lace, I think it is pretty, but it looks too big. Like, it doesn't look very lacy. It looks like all those like Deeper Life people's lace. I don't know. If you're Nigerian, you know what I mean by Deeper Life people's lace. Okay, so once you are done with this, I'm going to be showing you guys how to store it. Yeah, and the cake I used it on was so pretty. I really loved it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to store it, like in case you're not using it immediately. But before we do that, let me show you what we've done. So this is the first one. And these laces are so pretty. This tiny one is my favorite. Okay, I don't really like this one because I feel like it is too big, but these very tiny ones are my favorite. The only problem is you have to be careful when you're punching out the lace, so you won't be punching on top of already punched parts, because there is no outline basically. And then you can also use that big one to make maybe cutouts for your cakes, in case you want to make like wafer paper cutouts and everything. Okay, now that we're done, let me show you guys how to store it. So stack it together. You want to make sure your hands are not wet, or the mat is not wet, like everywhere is dry. And then you're going to like stack it together. And then I like to store it with my already, like, this wafer paper I've not used. I like to store it in the same place. And so the wafer paper I'm talking about is the thin one that is very pliable. So I'm going to put the link for you to buy it in the description box. You can make butterflies with it. You can make all sorts of things with this wafer paper because it is more pliable than the thick one. So I'm going to take the laces we made, and then I'm going to stick it into the same paper, like the same place like I took out the wafer paper from. And then I'm going to cover it in cling film. You want to make sure there is no air pockets where like breeze can get into your wafer paper, because that way it becomes stiff and then you can't bend it. You basically can't use the lace. So if you want it to be usable, make sure you wrap it like this, like completely, so there won't be air in it. So that's all you have to do, guys. And then when I was done, I used it for this really pretty cake. So I hope this video was useful to you and you liked it. And if you have questions for me, send it in the comment section. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.